Today's theme is what you need when you need it. What's the next feature that will allow our users to do that?
One of the most powerful things in Fellow is our action items. For savvy users out there, they may have noticed some visual changes on the screen, but we have our newly revised action items that we're going to show you right now. And the way it works is you've always had action items in Fellow. And typically the way you got to them is you click on your home screen, right? You click on action items and you see your action items view. And that's usually pretty nice. And a lot of people have been doing that. But sometimes you need your action items when you need them. And sometimes I'm in my meeting and I'm like busy collaborating on this meeting and I just want to add an action item. I want to see my action items and I don't want to leave my meeting. I want to stay in my meeting. And so what you'll notice now is on the left, we have action items as a new button. And when you click on it, what happens is you get to see your action items while still being in your meeting. So this is a huge change from a visual and UX perspective. It's beautiful. You see it all in one place. It's tied, obviously, like the action items that you get here are gonna basically show up here as you get them assigned. And you can do everything from here. You can even edit your action items. You can see, like, that's pretty powerful, right? I don't even need to go to the meeting where that action item originated. I can just edit it in place. I can check it off. I can do things like I could set a due date. I can mark it as won't do. All the power of action items all in one place. And then when I want to go back to my calendar, I can go back to my calendar. I can go back to action items. Super flexible.
So for instance, if you and I are in a meeting and we talk about something and you have an action item about that, you can easily go and edit that action item to let the other people on that other meeting where the action item was originated know about the change, right?
So, one of the things is, oftentimes we want you to put action items in the meeting for sure. And when you do, it shows up on the left, but you can also create action items, right? Work on project. And when you're ready, you can basically, add that right there. Maybe it's not related to the meeting, but I thought of something and I want to put it there. Super awesome for you to be able to do things like that. Some people might say, I love this. This is amazing, but sometimes I still want my full screen view. I hope you still have a full screen view. And the answer is we do. At the bottom, if you click on open full view, you get a screen like this. So you can still do that. You can still see your calendar, but we make it accessible. But if you're a savvy user, you probably notice that this screen looks different too.
It does. I mean, as a power user, I notice a couple of differences, but I'll start by pointing out I see some groupings and filters there.
That's correct. So one of the things that we've always been asked is, okay, I love your grouping. It's great, but I like to do action items my way. And my way involves this very specific grouping, and it's got to be exactly like this. Can I do that in Fellow? And up until now, the answer has been no. But as of today, the answer is yes. And the way that works is if I click on grouping, like you mentioned, I can go to a custom grouping. And right now, I actually have a custom grouping. And so you can see what that looks like right now. And it's really nice. I can move stuff around. I can make this one go there. I can make edits to it. I can minimize things. I can maximize things. Whatever I want to do, I can do all that in one place. I can drag things from one section to the other. It makes it really, really simple for me to be able to do that. And if I want to add a new section, it's super easy for me to do that. At the bottom, it says, create new group. I can call it brand new group. I can press create. That shows up. I can move action items into that. I can move this back to the top. Basically, it's super, super flexible.
Wow, I love the flexibility of giving people the ability to decide how they want to organize their action items. And I'm curious to know how people are planning to organize them. So again, let us know in the chat. But Aiden, are there any other ways to group action items that we have perhaps like suggested for people?
Yeah, so this is a really good question. One of the things that's very important is, say like I'm involved in some external things outside of Fellow, nonprofits that I volunteer with, and say we have ongoing meetings. I don't really want those action items like mixed in with everything else. Those are related to specific meeting. I want to see them there. Or I have different meetings and the action items from those meetings are just different. So what you can actually do is group by stream. Group by stream, what that's going to do is, depending on where those action items came from, that's where they're going to end up. So things that are not in a stream that you might have just created in your action items panel show up in no streams. These other two, there was a meeting called tests. There was a meeting called get started with meetings. So try this for yourselves. If you have Fellow open right now, say if we had a one-on-one meeting and there was action items there, I'll get to see those in that. And everything just gets organized by meeting.
One thing that comes to mind with this, Aiden, is if you see, for example, if you filter by meeting or by person, in that case, like one-on-ones with people on your team, you can easily see what action items you told them you would be working on before that one-on-one to make sure that you're doing the things that you say you'll do, right?
So we also allow you to show completed action items or not show them, or show things that you won't do or not show them. So you have that ability as well. Let's talk about another super highly requested thing in Fellow. And by the way, I hope you're getting to understand that we listen when you ask us for things, and we debate them. We figure out how we should do them correctly. And sometimes it's hard, and we figure out the best way. We really, like, our roadmap is so driven by our users. And so that brings us to the next thing, which is seeing action items for other people on your team. And that's something that people have wanted for a long time. And so what you'll notice is in my action items is there's assigned to others. And if I go there right now, you're listed. And so these are all the things that I guess you're going to do, which is awesome. And one thing is, and of course, if you should download the desktop app, that is an important one. But one thing that you might ask is, what about privacy? What is it that I can actually see? Because what you don't want is if I create a private action item, I don't want everybody in the company to see that. It's a private action item I took. Or if you and I are in a one-on-one meeting and you gave me an action item, I don't want other people to see that. That's like private to our one-on-one. So the way that this works is you only have visibility to things where you've been part of that meeting. So if you're part of that meeting, you can already see the action items associated with that meeting. And so that's where this is pulled from. So you and I have a few meetings. In those meetings, these are the action items that were assigned. And it's for that reason that I can see the content of these action items.
That makes a lot of sense. And like I was saying before, not only you can see action items that you told people you would work on before your one-on-ones, but as a manager, as a leader, I think one good practice would be to check what are some action items that people on your team are working on, and perhaps use that as an opportunity to offer support or check in on them to see if they need any help, right? So I think it just makes everything so much easier for people like us who have a lot of meetings, and it makes it easier to just keep your team accountable and efficient.
Yeah, so I love what you said. Let me show you a cool way to do that. I'm going to go to action items, going to assign to others, and the desktop app, right? Or please check up on Cynthia. So I'm going to click on this. Actually, if I hover over it, what's cool is if I hover over this, it'll say where that's coming from. That's from our one-on-one. When I click on it, it takes me to our one-on-one. That's the content of it. I can then do something like, say, add a comment and say, hey, do you need help with this? And when I do that, you're going to get your appropriate notification, and we can have a chat on the comments. But again, it's just what you need when you need it, right? It makes it super easy to check up on things, and when you need to, go to the right place and comment on it to provide your support.
I'm so excited to go ahead and create my own groupings for action items. And I do agree that this is an incredible update. So if this is just the beginning, I cannot wait to see the rest.
So much. I mean, companion mode is mind-blowing. A brand new action items interface. This is really cool.